Hello traders, today I want to share with you my weekly watch list for 9 June to 15 June. So we will start with USD Canadian dollar. If you check the weekly chart, we have an uptrend, price made a higher high and higher low, and price bounced from horizontal support and EMA 36. So this weekly 1, 2, 3 was confirmed and it's uptrend, pressure is up. On the daily we have bounce from EMA 200 and price broke that daily and weekly trend line, made a higher high, but it's not confirmed yet because we don't have a crossover in 1, 2, 3 yet. So we want to at least 4 hour 1, 2, 3, which we got it. But problem was, if we check the 1 hourly, that price decided to made lower highs. We have 1, 2, 3 touches, and then at night we got another one, so it looks like a wedge for now. So for a clear confirmation, I want to see a clear break, higher high and higher low on the 1 hourly at least. If price decided to move lower, I will wait for daily higher low and then look for setup to target 300 pips. So that's USD Canadian dollar. Then the next one is USD Canadian dollar. On the weekly we got confirm 1, 2, 3, higher high and higher low, price retraced to EMA 36 and horizontal support and resistance, bounced from it, confirm weekly 1, 2, 3. Next major resistance is plus 450 pips away. So on the daily we have that daily trend line break and weekly 2 to 3 line, and price broke daily EMA 36, made a higher high, higher than that one. So we want to see is wait for a daily 1, 2, 3 or at least 4 hour 1, 2, 3. So on the 4 hourly we got that higher high around 200 pips, so I want to retracement at least to EMA 36 or 200, so around 50%, around 100 pips, and then target that major resistance area around 5 plus 100 pips. That's Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. Then on the USDJPY we have, let me delete those lines. On the weekly we have uptrend, price made a higher high, higher low, then started to ranging here, and price bounced from the EMA 36 and trend line and broke weekly 2 to 3 line. But problem is that price only found previous resistance high from the daily and weekly, and if you check the daily you can see that price broke only daily trend line and weekly 2 to 3 line, made a little bit higher high than this one, found previous resistance area here and bounced back, bounced again up and bounced again down. So what we want to see is wait for a clear break above and setups above that level, and then we can target that area plus 250 pips. So we can also connect some trend line here, and that's it for that pair. Then New Zealand JPY, if you check the weekly we have uptrend, price made a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, bounce from support trend line here and moved up, so it looks like a big weekly 1, 2, 3 for now. So what we want to see is wait for a clear break of weekly 2 to 3 line as uptrend. It's on the weekly. So on the daily we have 1, 2, 3, almost 4 touches, daily trend line price made here lower low, lower high, lower low, then bounced up, made a little bit, yes, a little bit higher high, and now we have price which is in between support and resistance, and we want to see a clear break above here, above resistance, or of course clear break below, which will happen if it happen. So that's it. On the New Zealand Canadian dollar, if you check the weekly, we have uptrend. We have bounces from the EMA 12, higher high, higher low, and here price broke that 3 touches support trend line and EMA 12, so pressure is to the downside, but major trend is still up to next support close to the EMA 36. There is around 200 pips area, but major trend is up, so we want to wait also for a clear break above, or at least break below. On the daily we have that lower low, lower high. We have daily 1, 2, 3 in making, so pressure is to the downside. So if you get that break of daily 2 to 3 line, you can target that area around 180 pips, but because weekly trend is still up, and if we got that daily trend line break, we want to see a full hourly or daily 1 to 3 setup over it. That's it for that pair. On the GBPUSD, on the weekly, we have uptrend, we have higher high, higher lows, we have bounces from the EMA 12 and trend line, price made a higher high, higher low, and bounced from it, so it looks like a weekly 1, 2, 3. And that's it. Major resistance is here, major support and EMA 36, it's here. So on the daily, price made kind of a lower low, lower high, lower low, then bounced up from major support, moved up, found previous resistance area here, so we have price which is between support and resistance on the weekly and daily, so we want to see a clear break above or below, and then target next resistance and next support. Then GBP Canadian dollar, here is a little bit tricky situation. On the weekly we have uptrend, we got that weekly trend line break, kind of a lower high on the weekly and then lower low, but from the daily we will see that price is in range, and what price actually made a lower low and bounced back into the daily range. But if we check the daily, we have that range, price made lower low here, then that one made a lower high, so daily 1 to 3 short, but price was in range, then price made lower low point and now lower high, it's in making, so price is at resistance now, so it looks like a daily 1 to 3. So if price decide to break that area, we want to maybe look for aggressive trades here if that area breaks. If price decided to move up, then we just wait and see what happens and wait for a clear break above. On the GBPJPY, on the weekly, price is between support and resistance. We have uptrend, but it looks like a wedge which is getting smaller, so only 80 pips to the resistance. So we check the daily, we have nothing interested here, only ranging, so we want to see a clear break above or below that area. On the Australian dollar CHF, we check the weekly, we got that daily trend line break, higher high, higher low, and then price broke that weekly 2 to 3 line, made a higher high and broke EMA 36, but it's still not confirmed yet as we don't have a crossover and 1, 2, 3 above it yet. So we check the daily. We see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches support trend line and lower highs on the daily. 1, 2, 3, yes, 3 or 4 touches resistance line. It looks like a wedge here. So what we want to see is wait for a clear break above or below, and then 4 hourly or 1 hourly setup over it or below it. Then Australian dollar USD. Here we have kind of a range on the weekly, and on the daily the same range, so I'm waiting for a clear break of that area or that area. On the GBP Australian dollar, let me delete those lines. We have uptrend, price made a higher high, kind of a lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low, bounce from the EMA36 and support, made a kind of a higher high, bounce back, so it looks like a wedge in an uptrend. So what we want to see is wait for a clear break above or below that area. So if we check the daily, we can clearly spot that range. We have a resistance here, support here, also horizontal support and EMA 200 here, so we want to see a clear break above or below, and then we can target next areas here. That's it. On the CHF JPY, on the weekly, we have uptrend, then price started to making lower highs and price made the lower low here, bounced from the EMA36 and trend line, price bounced up, so we have kind of a wedge. On the daily we have the same, we have resistance, support, trend line here, price made daily diable bottom and made higher high. So what we want to see is wait for a clear break above or below that area, of course if you don't bounce trading. So I'm waiting for that. So on the Euro JPY, situation is the same. We have uptrend, price in the wedge. If you check the daily, price also in the wedge, so I'm waiting for a clear break above or below, and then target next resistance or next support here. Euro Canadian dollar, it's almost the same. We have uptrend, price made daily lower high, lower low, bounce from support, trend line and EMA36. We have resistance, trend line here in combination with EMA12. So what we want to see is wait for a clear break above that line or below that line first. That's all. Those are my pairs on the watch list for following week. So have a good weekend. Catch you soon.